Hi, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. In my recent life update, I mentioned I am having a third baby, and a few people did ask me to do some pregnancy update content, so I figure, why not? This will be my first one. I am either 11 or 12 weeks. With my first two kids, I was like week to week, knowing exactly how many weeks, how many days in I was, but with everything going on, just like in general, and this being, I guess, like the third child thing. I haven't really been as exact this time around. That being said though, the point of this video is to just give you an idea of how I'm doing, what I'm doing at this point in my pregnancy. I think next week I'm going to be 12 weeks and that will officially be the end of my first trimester. My next appointment is going to be my nuchal translucency scan, which is an ultrasound where they look at something. I don't remember. This isn't a medical update. This is just like a general update. So I have some notes on my phone that I will be referencing, but I am just going to tell you how things are going. Number one, I mentioned this in my life update, unrelenting exhaustion. That being said, before I talk a little bit more about that, I have been insanely inconsistent. I think I've probably been posting like once, if not once a week on Instagram for the last like 3 or 4 weeks. I went from daily posts pretty quickly to just like 5 days a week and then to just like 0 to 1 day a week. It's a tank top. Keeping up with like daily Instagram content plus my 2 videos a week and all of the editing that involves, I just don't have the energy for it. I have been requiring a nap pretty much every single day. If I don't take a nap, I'm done by like 8 p.m. So I've been trying to take a nap for like 1 or 2 hours a day. Very often I just don't get to it and yeah, I'm useless by 8 p.m. I have felt nausea coming on twice, but it didn't actually make it. So right now it is just intense exhaustion. I didn't have any exhaustion with Aiden. With my second pregnancy, and again, I had a miscarriage at 9 or so weeks, I was just very exhausted. With Layla, I had morning sickness and exhaustion from 4 weeks until she was born at 37 weeks. And this time around, I'm just exhausted. I have more energy in the mornings than I do in the evenings. Number two, lack of appetite. Probably until the age of like 25, 26, I had the appetite of a healthy, growing teenage boy. From probably the age of like 2, again, until like mid to late 20s. Nick was astonished when we first met at how much food I could eat. And it was never like desserts. I was never really into desserts, but like when we would go out to dinner, I would get dinner and then I would get a second entree for dessert instead of getting a dessert. And I ate a lot of food. That's calmed down in the last few years, but even outside of that, I have a generally healthy appetite. I have no appetite now. By the time dinner rolls around the last few days, I just didn't want food. The thought of eating was exhausting. So I was forcing myself to eat because like I need to take my supplements and I need to take them with food, but I wasn't really, I haven't really been all that hungry. Number 3, I experienced this with the miscarriage and with Layla. I get so hot, and that is when I'm working out. Like this, just like the heat is just like, I'm not sweating, but like my body feels like it is like 150 degrees. So I'm just like, that happens when I work out and if I eat something hot and when I have tea, and I have tea every morning. So this morning I had grits with hot sauce and like I felt like I was going to internally combust. I believe this is a common pregnancy symptom. I don't remember how many trimesters it lasted when I've had it in the past, but yeah, as of right now in my first trimester, heat is a thing. Number 3, foods. As I mentioned, not that hungry, but I do try to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner because you're supposed to. So for breakfasts, I normally will have oatmeal with berries and grapes or pancakes, but I do homemade pancakes and I make them with whole wheat flour, flaxseed meal, hemp hearts, a little bit of vanilla extract, pinch of salt, and baking powder. I think that's pretty much what I put in it. So those are pretty healthy and like they're like protein pancakes. I'll either do them pancakes or I recently bought a waffle maker, so I'll have that and maybe some strawberries with it. And I use coconut nectar instead of syrup. Otherwise, I will have a smoothie, or as I mentioned, I do really like to have grits, and I eat that with vegetables and tofu. I love smoothies. I use Smoothie Box, and I also get Daily Harvest. And if I just have no appetite and the idea of eating food just makes me feel sick, I'll have a smoothie just to make sure I get my greens, and I'll throw some extra kale or some extra spinach in there because most of the smoothies that I have already contain both of them. For lunch, when I'm awake for it, it's hard to say because I'll usually have leftover dinner for lunch, but I did recently discover plant-based deli meats. I have been giving Aiden turkey sandwiches for lunch because he says that he will have that for lunch at school. He's never really been much of a sandwich person, so I'm trying to get him used to eating things that he's agreed to eat that are going to be less strain on me. Because obviously sending him with a sandwich is a lot easier than sending him with something that has to be reheated and plated and all of that kind of stuff. Making sandwiches for him has been really difficult for me because I really wanted to eat it. So yeah, I found this brand Mia. I bought a package to try out this weekend and ate all of it in one sitting, which is a lot, but yeah, there's some appetite. I had some appetite today because that was actually what I really wanted. So that was good, and I'm probably just gonna have sandwiches now. The thing I love about sandwiches, you can pile so much spinach and or kale in there, and it just tastes good. So it's a great excuse. Plus I have pickles with it, which are a really great probiotic and prebiotic, and avocado. It's just like a really great way to get in vegetables. And then for dinner, as I mentioned, I haven't really been hungry. So a few times I've actually just been having what is normally my post-workout snack, which is a high fiber bread with almond butter, banana, hemp hearts, and then I'll have an apple on the side. But other than that, I mean, like the things that are in my common rotation, I make like a tofu and spinach, kind of like a sag paneer, but made with tofu instead of with paneer. I do a lot of lentil curries. I do a lot of pasta dishes that are loaded with vegetables. I don't know. I do have a decent variety of things that I make. Didn't mention in this video because I just always assume people know things. I'm vegan and this is my first vegan pregnancy. For dessert, I'm often too tired for dessert, so I don't really eat anything. My guilty pleasures, because I do have those. Those are pretzels, vegan caramel, and avocado oil chips. But I don't eat those on a regular basis. It's probably like 2 times a week. I might crave one of those like after dinner and I'll just eat that. Oh, and also Lesser Evil popcorn made with either coconut oil or avocado oil. Number 5, I just received results from my first trimester blood panel. Those blood panels, by the way, 12 vials of blood. Yes. And I'm really happy to report all of my levels were actually really good, except for my vitamin D. Again. I posted a video a few months ago where I mentioned that following my annual physical, I got back these results that a bunch of my levels were off. My vitamin D was low, my iron was low, my white blood cell count was just off, and there were a few other levels that were just off. I recovered from all of that. My vitamin D was down to 6.2. It's supposed to be between 30 and 100, so 6 is pretty low. And that was because we locked down pretty hard, which I've mentioned also. So there was just probably like an 8-month period where I just like didn't go out in the sun. I was on 50,000 units once a week. Plus I started taking daily walks. I got my vitamin D up to 51 as of June. As of these results, it's back down to 19, which doesn't surprise me again because after I got back my results, I think it was actually the beginning of my pregnancy and I just had no energy again. So I stopped taking my daily walks. Plus I wasn't taking my high dosage D3 anymore. Back to taking my walks. And if I don't have energy for a walk, I'll just go stand outside in the sun. Plus I'm just taking an over-the-counter D3 supplement. I was very happy to learn that my iron is actually on point. So that is one for my healthy diet because I was sure that it was going to be low because I haven't really been eating much. And like, I just felt like it was probably low because my iron is often low, or rather before I went vegan and prior to my blood work from February, my iron just like over the years just been relatively low, and people require more iron when they are pregnant. So I figured just like, it's probably low, but it's not. So that's the tofu and the lentils and all the dark leafy greens and all the other high iron content foods that I eat. I am, by the way, taking an iron supplement regardless. I did check with my doctor to confirm that I should. She said because women require more iron during pregnancy that there's no harm in me supplementing. So I'm taking 2,000 IUs once a day in addition to whatever's in my prenatal. Number 6, so working out. I do try to work out 5 days a week, and I am more accepting of low impact activities. I have always been like a workout snob, and I never consider taking a walk as workout or doing anything that doesn't make you sweat and doesn't like leave you breathless is not working out. I'm older, I'm more mature now, I'm more accepting. And not that it requires accepting, it's just more my understanding how things work. It's all exercise, and it's better to do low impact activities than it is to do nothing. Again, following a miscarriage, I'm a lot more respectful of the first trimester. So whereas with Aiden, I was doing jumping burpees, I was doing jump rope classes, I was just doing jumping jacks, I was jumping all over the place, I was lifting heavy weights, I was doing everything that I was doing prior to learning that I was pregnant. I don't do that anymore. I didn't do that with Layla because again, it was immediately following a miscarriage and I'm just terrified of having another one. So I figure, let's not chance it. Why don't we just do low impact? I try to do yoga once or twice a week. I do daily walks. That's either incline walks on my treadmill or walks outside in the sun. I do a HIIT workout 1 to 2 times a week, and I do runs 2 to 3 times a week. And that run is either going to be interspersed with a HIIT workout, with a walk, or just a flat out run. So I have been pretty good with my working out. I try to do it earlier in the day because, as I said, I lose energy throughout the day. But I also want to stay active because I think, bear with me, this might not make any sense. With Aiden, I was so active. I was probably working out 6 or 7 days a week, and I was all over the place. Like I was living in the city, so I was walking everywhere, and I was just in really great shape, and I had a really easy pregnancy. Aiden was also a really good sleeper right out the bat. Again, this is just my theory. There's no medical support behind this. I haven't spoken to any doctors about it to get their opinions. I feel like because I was walking around, moving around, jumping around, doing so much, I was always lulling Aiden to sleep with all of that movement. And I feel like that's why he slept better. With Layla, I didn't move for like 8 months. And also she was so active. Aiden was always sleeping. I hardly ever felt him kick. With Layla, she was like doing Taibo, kickboxing, regular boxing inside of me for like whenever they start kicking. I don't remember when they start kicking, probably around 20 weeks or so. I could be wrong, it could be earlier. But Layla was always active, always punching and kicking me, and it's maybe because I was not putting her to sleep with all of my activity. Who knows? And then Layla also didn't sleep for 2 years. It will be 2 years tomorrow, because her birthday is tomorrow. And she's never slept through the night. And I think it's because she didn't sleep enough in the womb. Again, probably doesn't make any sense, but anyway, that's my theory. I'm gonna try to stay as active as I can with this baby. If I don't have energy, I can probably go for a walk, or I lie down for 20, 30 minutes, gather up the energy, and then go for a 30-minute walk because I need to move for my own health, for the health of the baby, and to test out my theory. Let's see what happens. Number 7, physical changes. And again, I'm not gonna be showing my stomach on camera because that's just not who I am. I probably look the way I did when I was 6 months pregnant with Aiden. Probably look how I did with Layla at probably 5 months or 4 months. You get bigger quicker. With the first pregnancy, your body's not used to it, so it doesn't accommodate the required stretching as well, so it takes longer, and then it bounces back really quickly. With the second baby, it's like, oh, I've been through this, you need some room? Why don't I just start expanding? I remember when I was 4 weeks pregnant, and it came in, and he was like, oh wow, you can already tell that you're pregnant. I was mad for over a year. All right, for this last update, I am actually going to go get Aiden, so give me a minute. So this is Aiden, for those of you who don't know.
Hello.
You would have chosen names for the baby, whether it's a boy or a girl, right?
Yeah.
What are the names that you came up with?
Because I'm not doing Rosie because Nani said it might get eaten up with the name. So I'm going to have to choose Young Bao.
What? Okay.
So Young Bao and Asima.
Young Bao if it's a...
Boy and Asima, or Leah if it's a girl.
Leah.
Nia.
Okay. What was the original name that you had chosen that we're not allowed to call it anymore? If it's a boy?
Rosie.
Okay. So, what would your response be, or what would you think if I told you that it sounds like we need to name your sibling Young Bao? What? Let's not play with this right now. What would you say if I told you that we're gonna name your new sibling Young Bao?
I would be happy because that means it's a boy.
Okay, so it sounds like we're naming your sibling Young Bao.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
What am I saying? Okay, Aiden, listen. I found out what your sibling... I found out what your sibling is going to be.
You found out it was going to be a boy?
Yes.
Yay. Young Bao. How did you figure out it's a boy?
Test results. This
Is that exciting, buddy?
So are you happy?
You're gonna have a brother.
Yay.
Okay, that's enough. All right, thank you, Aiden. You can go.
Okay. Ugh.
You very excited?
Yes. I wanted to hatch today.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
It's not going to hatch.
Um,
It's a process, buddy. It's not
it's
hatching,
also
but it'll be
probably not
March.
gonna be called Young Bao.
Yeah, we're not naming it Young Bao. Okay, thank you.
Why are you not naming it Young Bao?
Because Aiden, Layla, and Young Bao doesn't really work.
So do you want to have Victor?
Victor?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later, Sig. Let me conclude the video.
Do you want Streamline Thomas,
I'm not
Victor,
naming him.
Ryan?
Streamline Thomas. Yeah,
Streamline Thomas. We'll name him Streamline
is a good
Thomas.
name.
It's the best one. Okay, we will name it Streamline Thomas.
Okay, Streamline Thomas will be his name.
Bye.
Bye. So that was my last first trimester update, except for, sorry, we kind of stumbled into one more. The baby is due March 26th, which is funny. Aiden was born on Nick's sister's birthday. Layla was born on my older sister's wedding anniversary. And this one is slated to be born actually 2 days before Christina, my other sister's birthday. So he'll probably be 2 days late and born on March 28th, just like her. That is it for my first pregnancy update. Let me know in the comments if there's any other kind of thing you would like me to mention in these and how often you'd like me to do these. I was thinking maybe just like when I have something to say, I guess. Again, my next scan is, I think, in a week or so, and hopefully everything is good. Hopefully the baby survived the first trimester. I hate to say things like this, but I'm not confident in this process. Just, again, given the miscarriage. I feel like I say that so much, but they kind of do stick with you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, again, this is my third baby, so I have been through this a few times at this point. I have had somewhat different experiences each time around. You know, I'm no expert, but someone who've had children, which a lot of people have done, you know, it's just my perspective on my own experience. So I don't know how much it's going to help you, but anyway, delivering what was asked for. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my content and haven't done so already, please consider subscribing, like, comment, and share, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Thanks, and have a good one.